The last time Honda built something like this, it made Harley-Davidson physically uncomfortable. And now, in 2026, that something is back. Meet the 2026 Honda Magna V65. 43 years ago, Honda dropped a motorcycle on the American market that didn't play by the rules. It wasn't a V-twin. It wasn't loud and slow and chrome dripping just for the sake of tradition. It was a 1098cc liquid-cooled V4 cruiser that ran a quarter mile in the low 11s at 118 miles per hour. Cycle World called it the fastest production motorcycle of its era. The Guinness Book of World Records noticed. And then, for reasons that still frustrate an entire generation of riders, Honda walked away from it. But here's the thing about legends. They don't stay buried. The 2026 Honda Magna V65 is what happens when Honda decides to stop letting nostalgia be someone else's business. And trust me, by the time we're done here, you're going to understand exactly why this machine has the entire cruiser world paying attention. Let's start where it counts. The engine. The heart of the 2026 Honda Magna V65 is a 1098cc DOHC liquid-cooled 90-degree V4, 4 valves per cylinder, now fed by a modern ride-by-wire fuel injection system instead of the 4 carburetors of the original. Honda didn't mess with what made this engine legendary, the over-square bore and short stroke design that made it rev like a sport bike while sitting in the frame of a cruiser. Peak output comes in at a claimed 120 horsepower at 8,000 RPM and 77 foot-pounds of torque at 6,500 RPM. Those are not cruiser numbers. Those are numbers that make a lot of sport bikes go quiet. But wait, a V4 in a cruiser? Doesn't that mean it's complicated to work on? Yes, absolutely yes, and Honda knows it. That's exactly why the 2026 version pairs that engine with a 6-speed transmission and shaft final drive, the same low-maintenance, no-adjustment ever setup the original made famous. You ride it, you don't wrench it. Unless you want to brag about what's under the engine covers, which honestly is valid. Honda has also added 3 riding modes, Sport, Standard, and Rain, along with a full suite of electronics that would have seemed like science fiction in 1983. We're talking cornering ABS, traction control, and a 5-inch TFT colored display that shows you everything from gear position to fuel range to tire pressure monitoring. The original V65 Magna had a speedometer and a tachometer. Progress is real. Now let's talk about how it looks, because this matters. Honda made a decision with the 2026 Honda Magna V65 that not every manufacturer has the confidence to make. They didn't try to make it look modern, they made it look like itself. The teardrop fuel tank is back, longer and lower slung than the original, but unmistakably descended from it. The 4x4 exhaust system, and yes, it is 4 individual pipes running along the right side, sounds like nothing else on the road. Not loud in a Harley way, loud in a way that tells you something complex and mechanical is working very hard right under you. The round LED headlight sits front and center, rimmed in chrome ring that nods to the original without feeling like a costume. Pullback handlebars, low-mounted foot pegs, a stepped 2-tone seat, the riding position puts you in a relaxed, low forward lean that the 2026 adds some welcome lumbar support to. Seat height comes in at 28.3 inches, which means a wide range of riders can flatfoot or come very close. At 535 pounds wet, the Magna V65 is not a lightweight. You'll feel that in a parking lot, but the moment you're moving, the weight drops away. The low center of gravity and that slim V4 engine profile give the bike a planted, confidence-inspiring feel through corners that you simply don't get from a bike with a fat V-twin hanging out on both sides of the frame. Here's something most people overlook about the original V65, and Honda has made sure it carries over to this generation. The engine doesn't lurch, it doesn't pulse or vibrate in that agricultural V-twin way that some riders love and others quietly hate. The V4 runs with a smoothness that is almost unsettling the first time you feel it. Rubber engine mounts help, but the fundamental balance of a 90-degree V4 is what does the heavy lifting. Roll on at 45 miles per hour in 6th gear, and the motor just quietly builds, like a turbine, effortlessly climbing to speeds that will require a serious conversation between you and your speedometer.
Speaking of which, top speed is estimated at over 140 miles per hour. Not that you'd find out on public roads, not that you'd admit it. Suspension duties are handled by 43mm inverted forks up front with 4.7 inches of travel and a monoshock rear with preload and rebound adjustment. Honda has also included their electronic steering damper on the 2026, which adjusts in real time to prevent wobble at highway speeds, something the original unfortunately struggled with above 120 miles per hour. Problem solved. Braking comes from dual 310mm discs up front with radially mounted 4-piston Nissan calipers and a single 256mm disc at the rear. Combined with the cornering ABS, stopping power is modern, confident, and light years beyond what a drum brake and a prayer could accomplish in 1983. MSRP for the 2026 Honda Magna V65 starts at $16,999 for the base model, with a pearl glare white and darkness metallic two-tone option running at $17,499. There's also a limited edition package at $18,499 that adds chrome accent treatment on the tank badges and exhaust heat shields, and a color-matched painted windscreen for touring riders who want to push the range. And the range is real. A 4.8-gallon fuel tank at an estimated 44 miles per gallon mixed means roughly 200 miles between fill-ups. For a machine making 120 horsepower, that is genuinely impressive efficiency. Now, here's the part of the video I've been building toward. You've been watching this like it already exists, like it's sitting on a showroom floor at your local Honda dealer right now, priced and ready to test ride. And that feeling, that's the whole point of this video, because there isn't a machine on the market right now that feels more inevitable than a 2026 Honda Magna V65. This is a concept, a reimagining of what the Magna V65 could be if Honda decided to stop sleeping on one of the greatest muscle cruisers ever built. Every spec you've heard today is grounded in the original VF1100C's verified engineering, modernized the way Honda has consistently modernized their V4 platform across the Goldwing, the CB1000R, and the VFR800. Nothing invented, just extrapolated. Honda hasn't confirmed this bike, but the community has been asking for it louder and longer than almost any other revival in the cruiser segment. And if this video does what I think it's going to do, maybe that conversation gets a little louder. If you want to see more bikes like this, real reviews, fan-made concepts, spec breakdowns, the next video is already queued up on your screen. Hit it. Let's keep riding.